Welcome. I've managed to get myself one of these. Also, of course I've got Yarrick, but the plan is I'm going to try and change his head. Because we have some Krieg heads spare. So I'm going to try and change it to a Krieg version of Yarrick. But everyone's seen Rogal Dawn, everyone's seen these. So we're going to try and build at least one of these and transport. So I think we're going to do the transport first because I've got a couple of the old Krieg models that I think we're going to use in the actual truck, as well as a gunner, but we might have to cut his legs off. These are the 4-year-old ones. Anyway, let's build the transport first. I think this is the one that's could be interesting. Let's crack on. Okay. So we need that one. By the looks of it, we need that one and that one. And then we've got the Rogal Dawn. That's all Rogal Dawn. And these look like the two. Right, so it looks like we got our little mini tanks. We're not worried about the Rogal Dawn. I'll build the Rogal Dawn another day. I've got a few of them built already, so who cares? But by the looks of it, my Krieg guys are a little bit smaller. But we don't care about that. We care about making it look cool. I'm hoping could work. I might have to butcher this bit though. So that it sits in there at the correct height. Anyway. Glue, snips, razor blade, file. Let's get going. So, I think when I build them, by the looks of it, you can. I did have a quick look, but it looks like it's got the same sort of turret as the Rogal Dawn. So you can basically easily magnetize this, like super easy. But it also looks like you could probably, it looks just push fit. I don't know whether you're ever going to use the Gatling cannon or literally the las gun. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I think it's going to be the battle cannon or the melter gun. It might actually, I don't know whether that might actually be a little bit too loud. Let's turn that down a little bit. I'm sure everyone wants to hear me waffling and not the music. Yeah, I think we're going to be using the battle cannon, technically, and the melter gun. That's what my theory is. But anyway, transport first. Transport, there we go. I'm going to build the transport first. So we need the front suspension, which looks like that piece. That piece, B11 and B12. B11 and B12. That's B12. And B11. It does look quite a nice sort of setup, model-wise. So far, anyway. I think these might come down in points. The 80-something points. So probably come down in points maybe a little bit. You would hope, anyway. I think you're probably going to find people just jamming in flamers in this thing. So far, the actual detail of this thing is pretty cool. I did have a quick look at the mini tank. It looks like it's got quite a lot of suspension parts. Yeah, we'll see. I think we'll build one of these and then we'll build a mini truck as well, just to basically see what it looks like. Alright. Okay. We're not going to see many people online today because it's a Saturday. And everyone's down the pub. Except me. Right. Go that way around. Wow, this is actually fairly well detailed, to be fair. The fact that it's got fucking CV boots as well. That's pretty impressive. A CV boot. Steering. That's impressive. Let's have a look. Right, chat. There we go. That's cool. And then I need 3 and 4. B3 and B4. B3 and B4. This to me looks like a differential, which is pretty cool. This is all part of the bottom of the truck as well. I'm never going to see this again. Could get away with basically having it like the you could get away with probably having it like the Rhino on the bottom. Not as much detail. Yes, so much detail for the bottom of a truck. Fucking ridiculous. One thing I must learn is probably setting up slightly different so that the camera isn't so close to the table. That involves more stands and more clamps. A slightly different setup, which at the moment I can't be asked to do. I don't know if that is that music too loud. Hello, hello, hello. It's picking me up all right, but I don't know whether it's The music is too loud. Right. Okay, so that goes round that way, doesn't it? That's super impressive. Right, so we got touchy bit there, 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 touchy bit there. No. There and there. My bad. Yeah. That's a lot of detail for... Not gonna lie, that is impressive. The amount of detail for that. Even got the hubs. That just seems a lot of faff for a bottom of a truck that you're never going to see again. 25 and 26, they look exactly the same, so we're not really too worried about forgetting which one's which. Yeah, it seems a lot of faff for a bottom of a truck. Looks of it. Yeah, this just seemed a bit over the top. B5. It's going to sit there. This is going to be the bit for holding the tracks on. One of many by the looks of it. We shall see. Wrong way round. There we go. And then B7. B7. That way around? By the looks of it, it is, yeah, it is flush up against that. So much faff at the bottom of a truck. Where's the other one? No. B8. Behave yourself. Yeah. By the looks of it, that's all of that. B2. More stuff that you're never going to see again. No, to be fair though, I think you are going to see the back of this one. Unlike in the rhinos where you got the transport section. I don't think I've ever seen one with the ramp open. Yeah. It doesn't look too bad to put together, actually. To be fair, it does come across as quite a lot of faff, though. Right. So I'm assuming we need 23 and 24 now. This is the side parts of the half truck. I mean, not that I actually need any more fucking transports, I'd be perfectly honest with you. We might as well take this one off because this is going to be the front of the truck anyway. We want to try and make it square. Right. This is just going to be your normal boring grey paintwork that I've got for the rest of my transports and trucks. I've got any to hand. No. Don't have any to hand, but yeah. This is just going to be your average boring grey. Very interested to get the little trucks on the tabletop. I think they could be quite cool. Right. Machine him. I'm assuming. Are they supposed to have the little... Ah, there we go. Okay, so there's little... tiny little tabs that actually sit over this bit. Maybe you can see that. They actually sit over it. Literally almost just sort of lock in almost. Ever so slight gap. That's cool though. I'll put that one on. That's a bit annoying that there's a gap there, right. But anyway, we shall continue. Yes. Right. Mud flaps. We'll do the mud flaps next. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And then we're going to try and, once I've done these, I'll probably see how long it takes me to actually make the hippogriff. To whether I make one or two. I might just make one and then build Yarrick. Because I do actually have Chaos Knights to do. That's that way then. Okay. That's not too bad. Didn't want to seem to sit flush on that there then. Yeah. Not too bad. Bumper. There we go. Right. We'll do the rape rather than the toe and eyes. Yeah, we'll do the rape. Almost snapped in then. That's quite cool. Yeah, so you got the options of two little towing hooks. I think it just looked crap, to be honest. Right, B63, which is 62, 63. B68. 68. Might be the last set of new models that I will buy. We shall see. Yeah, I don't think I will bother putting that one. Okay, so that actually sits. That makes sense. There we go. It just slides in there. Cool. Oh. Okay. Top hatch. Yeah, like I said, I'll probably do this one. And one of the hippogriffs. Depending on how quickly that gets made. Because it looks, the suspension alone looks quite complicated. So obviously depending on time, whether I build one or two. Okay, that's cool. You can work with that. We can work with that. Yes, I know I haven't put the visor bits on. But we can glue that on. We can glue that on. Let's do 51. We change on there. Or 52. Or 53. 53. I think 53 looks quite cool. Then the visors, which are 27 and 66. Fucking random set of numbers. We'll do one at a time. It looks like it's that way around. Yep. 66. We've got to try and find 66 now. Fun and exciting. It's not there. $66. Fucking random number. That's a bit shit. That is a bit shit. That's a bit crap. Clamp that, maybe. We should be okay. Right, so we're not going to bother. We'll do the fire axe. We'll definitely do the fire axe. And the shovel. Obs. Of course we're going to do the fucking shovel. This death corpse of Krieg. The shovel and the fire axe. By the looks of it, there's one up here. So do that. That way around. Or it can... That looks quite cool. Probably. We'll figure out the fire axe at some other point. I don't think there's any need to put the... Got a load of gubbins and crap that go on it, but I can't be arsed with that. So we can then maybe add one of these guys. Maybe add him there, I think. But we're going to have to use a different kind of glue. Yeah. Yeah, we'll use a different kind of glue. Different kind of glue for his arse. Right. Obviously, at the moment, it doesn't matter that the colours of them are slightly different because it's going to be just base coat grey anyway, so it's not actually going to matter that much. What I might do is I might put the next base piece in and then possibly put the next guy in, which is this one, and the hatch. Yeah, I'll do the hatch in a minute. 67, which would be one of the... There we go. Look at that. Have cleaned that already. Is that meant to be... Yeah, it's meant to be open, I think, isn't it? Yeah. No, this way round. There we go, and I think if I put that guy here, I can paint him from this direction and one from that direction. And if I have them sat almost right at the back, or where he's got a set of binoculars, he can be looking at the back of the truck. That wasn't scripted at all, I'll be perfectly honest with you. Or maybe not. That might be a little bit too close. Maybe you'll sit there instead. Put a bit more glue on your arse cheeks. Maybe you'll sit there instead. Which I can still get to him through here. And that one through there. It's looking good. It's looking good. Right. Let's put the back section on. 65. And that bit. Where's the tow hitch? There's a tow hitch there, look. 28. Does that? Okay, that does actually. That's cool. That is actually quite cool. Not gonna lie, that is actually quite fucking cool. So, just going to. Not gonna lie, that is actually quite cool. Right. Yes, I think it's time to start butchering this guy up. I'm not scared, you're scared. Right, let's at least get the stuff sorted. So it's that one. That one. B71. Might do with Mr. B71 No, 71 is going to be on this one, isn't it? There we are, look. So you might use some super glue and glue this on, and then use me spray to fix it quickly. I might do the same. That's going to sit in there, isn't it? Right. And then there we go. That's that bit. Just make a load of noise and put that fucking back together. Right, that's that bit done. And then essentially it's the machine gun we want on there next, isn't it? It's terrifying. There it is. 34. 49? No, 36. Let's put the lid back on there. 35. Six. What I might need to do is I might actually need to shave off the back of the machine gun slightly. We shall see. Got to make sure the bullets are facing the correct way. Right. And that is going to sit no, should have put this on first, I think. There we go. And that's going to sit in there, isn't it? Oh, come on. Just ever so slightly fiddly. I think we need to chop him off. There, I reckon. Just do his waist. And that's stuck in there now. As scary as this is, I think we might need to cut him off about waist height. Not gonna lie, that made me feel ever so slightly sick. That's gonna sit. Yeah, we're gonna have to just trim just ever so slightly the base off. So that's cool, that's cool, that's cool. I think, yeah, we're just gonna have to just trim a little bit off the back of there. A little bit of green stuff. And I've glued my finger to the like a machine gun. There we go. There we go. That wasn't scary at all. Now we just have a random pair of creek legs. Quality. That's cool. Does it matter which way around that goes? Yes, it does. That's cool. That was sickening. Cool. And then obviously the lid, or whatever it's called, hatch. There we go. That should be fine. And then you glue the guy in. And all the other gubbins. Right. Lights. Which are obviously 60 and 60. Cool. It doesn't look too bad to build. It genuinely isn't too bad to build. Really, really isn't. Doesn't matter which way round they go, they're both 60, aren't they? Cool. That's cool. Sandbag. I don't know why you'd have a sandbag on the top, but okay. I'll put this bit on first then. It does sound awfully loud, that music. Is the actual shovel in the way? No, it's not. Cool. And then tracks. Right, tracks. Not there. That was close. 17. It just feels very loud, that music. Maybe 2. There we go. That's a bit better. Yeah, that one, and then we need 18. Okay, I think we might need to maybe stage build this. And then 20. It does look cool, this half track, not gonna lie. I think, yeah, this is obviously inside bits, isn't it? So we're gonna go, just put the tracks on. Obviously they're only gonna go on one way, aren't they? So you've obviously got the female bit there. There. The male bit on that bit. Again, it just feels very, I'll be honest, it just feels very excessive to have this all Yeah, it just feels very excessive to have this for a set of tracked wheels. What do I know? And I'm assuming it's just going to be rinse and repeat. Yeah, rinse and repeat on the side there. Going to be rinse and repeat. That's pretty much it, I think, after that. Rinse and repeat. You can't get the wheels, you can't get these wheels around the wrong way because they'll only go on one way. Not that it matters that much because this is basically, this is the inside bit of the track. It fixes to the bits in there. It's not too bad. To be fair, you haven't got to clean this up very much because it will literally be underneath the truck. So, do with it what you want. Again, see, it'll only go on one way. Literally only goes on one way. To be fair, this is what the Taurox should look like. Should have looked like from the get-go. The half track, it just looks so much better. You can put all the other gubbin bits and pieces on it. Looks like you can put skirts on it, which is quite cool. And exhaust bits. Maybe this is going to replace the Taurox? Maybe? Fairly sure I haven't missed any bits out on this. Fairly sure I haven't. There was no exhaust bits for it. Maybe they're going to do an armoured version of it then. That's a little bit. Again, they'll only go on one way. Make sure the tracking's on. Yeah, that's cool. Take a picture for the socials. That's cool though. Yeah. you've clearly got extra bits. So you've got obviously armour tracks, covers, and by the looks of it, exhaust bits. Because there's no other section that I've missed where it should be on there. That's weird. Very weird. Right. We'll call that one done. Cool model. That's a cool model. I think they're going to do... I've got a feeling this could be the Taurox replacement at some point, I think. It looks a lot better. It genuinely looks a lot better. Super simple to put together. Obviously I'm going to have to use, once it's all dried, I'll have to use my cleanup tool, which is literally just a scratch pen. Gets rid of all the excess glue that you can see. But yeah, that's quite cool. The towed artillery piece as well. We'll see. We'll see what happens with this all. That's a cool model. Right. The truck. Yeah, see all of these little suspension bits on the next one. But it's all the same. They look, I'll be honest, push fit. I probably will just have the hatch shut. We'll see how it goes. But it looks like it's all one piece. One big brick of sprue. No excess bits. It's just literally just one sprue. No, that's a different size bit to the bit that was on there earlier, on the last one we made. But I think I'm just going to go with the, basically just... Yeah. Yeah, you got the locking system again on the turret of the tank. Might be able to maneuver it. That's cool. Right, let us begin. So you start with the top of the tank. Interesting. Yeah. I'll probably build one of these and then look at Yarrick. I think that's probably the best route we're going to go with. C1 and C2. C2 and C3, sorry. C2. C3. We've lost C2 already. No, we haven't. It's here. Yeah, we'll get Yarrick. We'll do this one and then we'll do Yarrick, I think. I don't think Yarrick's going to take too long to build. But we do need to trim Yarrick's head off, I'm afraid. Because it's going to be Commissar Yerton. Cool, right. There and there. Oh, is he pushing through? That's very random. Very random, very unnecessary, I think. But again, these two bits can't go around. You can't get them wrong because they're on one side they're sloped. So again, it doesn't matter that much. Spruce very fucking bowed though. I'll make the doesn't seem to want to sit very well in there, does it? That's not a very decent fit. Yeah, not liking this already. I was going to need a bit of TLC there. Because I don't want no scrub. Not a massive fan of that already. Not a fan of that already. Right. Come on, Games Workshop, you can do better than this. So I've just had to use some actual proper super glue and spray that because that was such a shit fit. That's really bad. so much gap. There's so much gap there. That's not happy with that. Shock him. Right. We'll let that do its tang. It might just, to be fair, it might just be my one model, because the sprue is very fucking warped. I don't know whether you can see it. Whereas this one is actually, I mean, you can't fucking see it anyway, but it's actually reasonably straight, the next one. We'll see. We'll see. So far, that hasn't gone particularly well. 12 and 12. Yeah. It's a bit disappointing. Like I said, it could be just the fact that my sprue is warped. That's why it wouldn't go together nicely. Because it's never like Games Workshop make you buy crap fitting models. Yeah, you just slap it on. Cool. Yeah. Glue it on. Sit in it. Good job, I checked. Cool. Right. C8. Okay. Right. I think we're just going to build one of these and then we'll get on to... Okay, so C... Let's do C8 first. 8. Do 8 first. Right, that's fairly easy. Keep it simple, stupid. C9. 9, 10, 9. Number 9. Sits there. Cool. Okay. So 5 and 6. I think the suspension matters that much. That just seems very random. Do that. That doesn't make much sense. That doesn't make much sense why they've done that. Because that's not gonna... Sprue wise, that's not gonna make much difference. Maybe because it's... You wouldn't want that solid plastic. Maybe. I don't know. C7. C7 there. And then rinse and repeat to the other side. So you want that bit, that bit, that bit, and that bit. Square. Ah, I didn't put C7 on, did I? And then I need the handlebars. Cool. You know what? Let's just do that. 29 and 30. 29, 29, 30. 30. There we go. That's 30. $29.29. There we go. There's the lights there. Look. Let's do 28.28 as well, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, it's going quiet. Yeah. Fairly cool. Seems a lot of lights. Oh, there it is. Yeah. So we're going to have to get this next bit around the right way now, aren't we? That bit. So that's all 20. Let's do 18 first. 17, 17, 17, 18. And 19. Get this bit on first. Yeah, I'll probably just build this one because it seems very fiddly, and then we'll have a go on Yarrick. Right. I'm assuming it's that way around. Yay! Right. Note to self. Push that bit in first. There we go. And it's 20, 20, 20. 20, 20, 20, and 21, 21, 21, 21, 21. And then I think they're all 21s, aren't they? Yeah, they're all 21s. Cool. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 2, 3. On a chunk. 2, 3. Yeah, they're all the same. They're all the same. Has the music finished? The music might be finished. The music might be finished. The music might be finished. No, it's not. What's happened there? I don't know what's happened there. That's annoying, but never mind. The music's changed. Anyway. Right. Let's begin. I think I might have cut too many off. I cut too many off. Gonna be that one. Yeah. In you go. Snip. 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 And then rinse and repeat. That bit there. So we're going to learn from the last mistake, and we're going to glue this piece on to the suspension bit first. Wow, it's almost 11 o'clock already. Maybe we won't do Yarrick as well then, because I've got a funny feeling it might kick me out again. It did it to me last time. Maybe what I'll do is I'll do Yarrick tomorrow. Really? There. Not too bad, I suppose. Hub-wise, it's not too bad. 26, 27. Yeah. 26, 27. Yeah, look, yeah. It's the same wheels again. We could put them all in together. We'll just put them all on together. Then it's just going to be the turret next. Yeah, I think we're going to build Yarok tomorrow, probably. If I've got time tomorrow. Right. Again, the wheels will only go on one way round. It's quite cool though, not gonna lie. Yeah, that's quite cool. I'll put the a bit on tow rope or whatever it's called. It's tiny. It's a hell of a lot smaller than the there. Tracking's all in. Right. Turret. I think it's literally the same as like a Lehman Russ turret, I think. or Rogal Dawn turret. 36. It's all the same gubbins. Yeah, it's all the same gubbins. Tidy all this up, glue it together. Let's push through there. Again, this is just very random that they do that. I don't understand why that was needed. The little square bit. It's literally the same as a normal Lehman Russ turret. That way round. No, yeah, twat, it's this bit. $37. $37. Yeah, we won't bother putting the turret bits on. Don't think they're needed. We've been streaming for almost 2 hours. Yeah. I do need to try and get into streaming more often. That's my problem. Yeah, we're just going to have the lid shut, I think. We're not going to bother with trying to put another guy on top. And then we want C42, 42. I might make the other one off stream. Yarrick I'll probably do on stream as well. C43, 43, 41, 40, 43. I'm assuming this might be smoke launchers. Maybe. Forty and 41. There. What we will do though is I'll probably glue that piece on here. We're probably going to go with just the pulverizer cannon and the stubber, I think. 'Cause I think that's going to go just straight on there, isn't it? Easy. Go straight on there. I'm going to go with this one, I think, which looks like it's going to be 53. It's a stubber, and then probably 45. And the other half of that barrel. Where the other half of the barrel is. There it is. 46. I would assume these are literally just going to be push fit. Yeah, it's quite a loose fit, but it's a fit. A fit is a fit. Yeah. And you could maybe a little bit of blue tack or something in there. Maybe two then. Yeah. Literally just locks in. That's cool though. That's cool. I do not like the front bit. I don't know whether that was because the sprue was warped, whatever, but it didn't fit nicely. Other than that, it's a cool little truck. Considerably smaller than the transport. Same wheels though. But that's cool. Yeah, I like them. It's new guard models. What's not to like? Yeah. I think that's pretty much. Put the new guy on it or not if you want. Chuck some shit on it. Let's chuck some shit on it. Oh, I quite like that actually. I quite like that. That one, wouldn't it? Quite like those two. So we'll put these on. Yeah, you can go overboard if you want. Fit all this sort of stuff, if you so wish. I'm only going to put a couple of bits on because it looks cool as fuck. That way around. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. And then the crate, I'll pop on as well. That looks like a backpack. That's the way around, isn't it? That's cool. Yeah, I like that. Hippogriff. Whatever the bloody hell that thing's called. But that's cool. Yeah. I like it. I'm assuming they're either going to be like scout sentinels, so you'd be able to take them in twos, or they're just going to be little individual ones. But they are cool. I like them. And then obviously you've got the rest of the, which is Rogal Dawn, 10 troops. I like them. I think they're cool. I think it's an interesting addition. Not 100% sure why we would need technically a fourth transport, but as a guard player, why wouldn't you want more tanks, more troops? Looking forward to seeing what they do with Steel Legion. I think from what I've seen or heard, the new stuff is at least a year away, which is frustrating. But we shall see what happens when it happens. And then tomorrow, we'll probably do this. And then maybe I'll build the second one to see if it is the sprue that's fudged on it, or it's not, and it is just a shit fitting at the front. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you wouldn't mind, I'd appreciate it if you could like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.